So I found this super cute house tea light holder the other day at my local thrift store, and it was only $3.99, which was a steal. But this is not so Halloweeny yet, so in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through how to turn this into a spooky mini haunted house with a whole bunch of cute mini details. So the first step is we're gonna paint it with an acrylic paint in black. And the material it's made out of is a ceramic, and you can definitely paint acrylic over ceramic. So I have my brush here and I'm just gonna paint right over top. So this is really gonna be a dramatic transformation here. And I'm also gonna paint the sides. So I'm gonna let this dry and then I'm going to paint in the other side. All right, now that this house is painted all black, we're gonna add some details to this haunted house. So the first detail we're gonna add is a door. So this door, I just made this out of these giant popsicle sticks I got from the dollar store. And I just painted it with brown paint and with some black paint around these details. So I'm just gonna use a glue gun and I'm gonna try to center it. The next detail we're gonna add is the number of this home. And again, I'm just gonna glue it down. And this is also made out of a little piece of a popsicle stick. So now we're gonna work on the roof and then we're gonna come back to add more detail to the front of the house. So for the roof, I've made a whole bunch of these popsicle stick shingles. So basically it's just a popsicle stick that I've painted with some brown paint. And I'm gonna stick this onto the roof with a glue gun. So I'm basically going to repeat adding all these popsicle sticks along the top roof over here and on the other side, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like. All right, our roof is complete and it's looking really nice and vintage and old, which I'm loving. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to add some shutters on some of these windows. So for the shutters, I just created them out of popsicle sticks again and then just drew on these black lines onto them just to make them look like shutters, wooden shutters. So to glue them on, I'm going to add glue at the one side, one edge of that popsicle stick. And then I'm going to put it into place. And I'm gonna hold it at like a 45-degree angle while the glue has a chance to dry. That way it gives it more of like a 3D open look. So it's not completely flat and it looks like the shutters kind of open a bit, like that. And then I'm just going to repeat that on the other side of the window. So it's looking pretty spooky so far. Okay. So now on the other windows, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little fun here and we're going to bar up our windows with some of these like planks of wood. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add two of these shutters up here just to give it the illusion that there's another window or attic window at the top. Go. And then I'm gonna add some details at the bottom over here. So the first one is I made this tiny little sign with the words on it, enter at your own risk, with a little toothpick for the stick. So I'm gonna stick that on. What haunted house isn't complete without a pumpkin, right? So these pumpkins I just painted out of these wooden beads, and then I just painted on a jack-o'-lantern face with a black paint marker. So I'm just gonna glue that on this side over here. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna add are these tiny little acrylic bats that I got from the dollar store today. So I'm just gonna use a glue gun and then just stick them on. I'm just trying to figure out where I wanna put them. So I think I'll place one right at the top of the roof, just kind of perched up right in the center. All right, so I'm just gonna add some final details here. So I wanted to add a spider web. So I'm just grabbing a white posca marker here and I'm just gonna zoom in so you can see it. So I wanted to add one right at the top here. I hope you guys enjoyed this dramatic transformation of a tea light holder into a spooky haunted house. Stay tuned for tomorrow's mega video of 5 Halloween thrift flips. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, lots of peace, love, and color your way.